What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus G15 Advantage gameplay video for you guys today, and today we are redoing The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt as requested, with all the updates and all that good stuff. So, we already did 1080p, so of course in this video, we're gonna take care of 1440p. So, nothing else really to say. So, let's not waste any time and just get ourselves into that game.
Alright, just like last time at 1080p, we're just gonna do all the different presets. So we're gonna start at RT Ultra, which did not work very well at 1080p, so this is probably gonna be pretty damn horrible at 1440, but we're still gonna try it out anyway for a minute anyway. So, let's go and chop through these settings just real quick. Now, things like this don't change, so I'll just try to remember to change things like that, you know, once we get down to maybe medium and low. I think I'll wait to high. We'll leave those alone. But for RT Ultra, it puts everything up to Ultra Plus. So, there's that. So, game time. Well, here we go with ray tracing on Ultra, and I couldn't even jump properly because we're getting under 20 FPS here, so yeah. This is quite a bit horrible. It was already pretty bad at 1080p, but at 1440p, it's completely unplayable. It was already pretty unplayable just at 1080, but at least that was borderline playable to some. I don't think anybody would want to play like this. So I'll just run around in the forest. I'm not even going to bother going all the way to town. There's no point. It's just going to get even worse FPS there. But it's still interesting just to see how it does. Ray tracing was never really AMD's forte. And I think this ray tracing even brings 4090s and stuff to its knees, if I recall. I mean, unless they did work to that and fixed it. If anybody ever wants me to redo any of this same game on any of those systems, you guys just let me know. Alright, well, that's about all I can handle of that. So now let's go drop it down to just RT, I think they call it. Well, now, here we go with just RT. So let's go see what that does. It seems to turn everything else off and just do performance global illumination. It still keeps all this stuff on Ultra Plus. And alright, we've already reached the bottom, so that means it's time to get back to that game. Well, now, here we go with it on ray tracing. And it can't even maintain 30, so I would say it's not really that playable, but just like ray tracing Ultra was on 1080p, I'd say it's borderline playable for some, maybe. Oh, it's 420. Well, hold on for just a quick second, guys. Nothing quite like a good 420 hit. Yes, sirree. Yeah, since this might be playable for some, this time I will go through town. I don't remember if I did that on just RT when we were at 1080p, but we're doing it now. Out of my way, geese. Alright, we reached our stopping point. Ooh, there's a big stutter there. It did not like that. So yeah, I think 1440p is a little too much for it with the ray tracing. But now, let's go ahead and tone her down and see if we get any more of those big stutters. I didn't do that at all doing 1080p. Now we're going to do just Ultra with no ray tracing, so that's completely off now. I left all this stuff alone. And it drops this down to just Ultra instead of Ultra Plus. So with that out of the way, let's go see if it does any of those big stutters like it did. That was probably just ray tracing's fault, but hey, let's find out. Now here we go with the game all Ultra, and it looks like we still can't quite hit 60. Not at 1440, but not everybody wants 60. To some people this is completely playable, and they would rather have it look like this than tone settings down and get 60. That is if we can even get 60 at 1440. I think we can though. Anyway though, let's go head towards town and just run through there real quick too, just like we did before. I'm also curious to see if he's got any huge stutters. Like right before I ended the video, we got a big stutter. I almost thought the game crashed, to be honest with you. But no, it just ended up being a big stutter. Yeah, you say that now, but then you'll be the first one crying for help when you're getting eaten by a griffin or something. And then it'll be, "Oh, Witcher, help me, save me, oh Witcher." Now I'm gonna be like, okay, for a price. Alright, that is pretty much that. Let's just wait for a second here. I just want to see if it does another big stutter. Okay. No, so far so good. It probably was just ray tracing's fault, but we'll see if it does it throughout the entirety. So, on to the next preset. Now, for regular old high, so let's see what that does. This stuff, it doesn't change, and I'm just leaving that alone for now. I'll start dropping stuff down once we get to medium. But now we'll get to the stuff that actually matters, this stuff. So it has dropped everything here to high, as you can see. And there we go. Let's go see how it does now. Well now, here is high, and it looks like even that can't quite get a 60 in this game. So I think I'm going to have to, if I want 60 and have it look decent and whatnot, I'm going to have to do my own little custom settings, but I was going to do that at the end anyway. And who knows, might not be able to do any better than just having everything on like medium and low. We shall see. Oh, and some people said running this in super resolution to get my 1440p actually gets less FPS than just playing native, like if you had the 1440p version of this laptop. So, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just something you can keep in mind. Still though, I don't know if that would get you from 50 all the way up to 60 plus, but who knows? And I don't even know if it's true. It could be a bunch of hullabaloo. Not saying in one way or the other, because I have no idea. Alright, we've made it to our stopping point. See if we can't get any giant stutter like we did that one time with ray tracing, but no, seems like the frame time and all that seems butter smooth now. So now it's medium time. Now we're going to do the medium preset. So for that, let's plop him down to that. That I don't think affects FPS, so we'll just leave that alone. I guess that does move around, because I think I had that maxed out before. And that can only do low, so we'll leave that alone. We'll put that to low before. All this stuff doesn't really affect FPS much. It's mostly just a preference thing. And then everything down here is all medium. So now, game time. Alright, here we go with medium presets. And we still can't hit 60. So I just don't think you can hit 60 unless you do everything on low. And even that might not do it. So for my settings, I'll just have to get what I believe is the most playable I can get with it still looking decent, I guess. Won't even try to get 60 if it's not possible, you know? But I'll just try to keep it above 30. And the closer to 60, the better, obviously. Running through the fields. No, no trouble at all. Oh, nobody's there this time. All right. Doesn't appear to be any enormous stutters, but I think that was mostly due to ray tracing being lame. Let's go move on. Now for the low preset here. I also turned this thing completely off. And same with that, and put this down to low. And besides that, all this is also on low. So I guess let's go see how it do. Alright, here we go. On low, we're getting 140. So I have to figure out what setting is causing us to lose so much FPS. Because obviously, now we're getting plenty of FPS. But now the game looks a little bit like Dookie, let's be honest. The character model's not so bad. Everything else looks pretty bad. But if you just want lots of FPS and don't give a shit, there you go. That's what you can do. But for my settings, I'm going to sit there and try and figure out what setting was killing the FPS so much and try to turn some other stuff back up too. Because there's obviously something it just did not like.
Go on and Kazan.
Alright, nobody's there again. Interesting how sometimes they're not there and sometimes they are, but that one kid always seems to repeat the same thing over and over. Interesting indeed. In any case, though, I'm gonna sit here and tinker for a little while and see if I can't get a good, graphics and FPS combo going on here for my settings. And then we will see how it does with said setting. Alright, so now for my settings here. Oh, I guess we can turn anti-aliasing back on. I don't think that'll kill it too much. I forgot about that. But I found the main culprit for killed FPS. It was this guy. I turned that on and it dropped me down into the 40s. Turned it off, we were up into the hundreds again. So just turn that off or down to low on 1440. Hell, turn that down to low on 1080 as well. I don't even know if I did that with my settings because I was getting pretty decent settings before. We probably could have been in the hundreds with even better settings, you know, if I would have turned that off. But anyway, here's the actual settings down here I changed. Ultra textures, medium shadow. And I think that should give us a pretty decent FPS. If not, I'm going to probably just delete this and go turn that anti-aliasing back off and just deal with that because we were getting well over like 100 FPS before. But if we drop down to like 40 again, we'll know it was probably the anti-aliasing, right? So now, back to the game. Alright, now let's get some gameplay of my settings here. And as you can see, we're still getting about 100 FPS. So in fact, I'm beating out what I was getting on my 1080p because of that setting. So yeah, at 1080p, just turn that setting to low as well. Screw that. I don't care about reflections enough to have it drop into the 30s and 40s and 50s. And now look at that frame time. That is almost a completely straight line.
Freak.
The guy told me about a Swiss guy. Like they listen to the place. I decided should we draw it or not?
Good news being use nutrient travel time files. Storage
Alright, now we've reached the end. Let's spin this around a couple of times, see if we get in giant stutters like we did that one time when we had ray tracing on, but it never happened again after that, so I think it was probably just the ray tracing's fault combined with the higher resolution. It just couldn't handle it, so it just fell flat on its face, and would probably do that a bunch if I would have kept playing. But anyway, that should be more than good enough, so let's go wrap this video on up.
Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt at 1440p on the Asus G15 Advantage. And yeah, as long as you turn that screen reflection or space reflections bullshit off, it seems like you get much better results in pretty much everything. So I would even on 1080p just recommend turning that the hell down to low. Because apparently high just hits this thing's CPU too hard or something, or the GPU too hard. Something in there does not like it. Once I put that down to low, we were getting like 100 FPS. I think I actually beat out what I got FPS wise with my settings at 1080p because of of that stupid setting. So regardless from that though, frame time wise and all that stuff, no crashes. We had one big stutter when I had ray tracing on, but I don't think too many people would be playing on this thing with ray tracing on anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Once we got done with ray tracing, it was like buttery smooth all the time. Now, could there still be some spots where it might stutter when you load into a new area? Sure, lots of games do that, but I think most of the time it's gonna be butter. So hopefully these videos were good enough for the person that requested it and anyone else who was curious how this game's running on this laptop now. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.